The Galactic Council had long prided itself on its wisdom and collective strength. An assembly of the galaxy's most advanced species, each more technologically superior than the last, they had ruled the universe for millennia. They governed through diplomacy, military might, and an unwavering belief in their inherent superiority. The galaxy was a place where cooperation often came with an edge of arrogance, that is, until they encountered the humans. Humanity had always been viewed as primitive, young, and somewhat irrelevant in the grand cosmic scheme. Earth, a small blue-green planet in the Sol system, was surrounded by the vast, incomprehensible power of ancient civilizations. The humans, too, had their own forms of war, but they were hardly seen as a threat. Their primitive weaponry and their lack of galactic experience were seen as their defining characteristics. For the most part, the Council had ignored them. That was about to change. The news reached the Galactic Council chambers like a quiet storm, whispers of human advances, unprecedented victories, and a series of intergalactic skirmishes that had caused shockwaves throughout the cosmos. At first, it was dismissed. After all, the humans were just barely into the interstellar age. Surely, they were no match for the likes of the Totherans, the Dritchians, or the Vraxians. But as reports continued to flood in, the tone began to shift. The human army had something no one expected: an indomitable will and a resourcefulness that defied logic. The council convened, an enormous hall filled with beings of every shape, size, and form imaginable. A representative of each species stood before a massive holographic table. Their forms varied. Some were liquid, others mechanical, while others had been around since the dawn of the universe. Despite their differences, one thing united them: their shared belief in the inevitability of their rule over the cosmos. But now, as they heard of the latest human feats, an uneasy silence fell upon them. "Sirs," the voice of Chancellor Karath of the Drixian Dominion echoed through the chamber, "I fear we may have underestimated these humans." One of the Totheran generals, a massive creature with a thick exoskeleton, spoke next. "Underestimated? They should not even have survived this long. Their technology is crude at best. But it is their strategy that is unlike anything we've ever seen," said Ambassador Rethak of the Vraxian Empire. "They do not fight like any species we know. It is instinctual. A sheer will to survive." The room grew tense as the data continued to pour in. The humans had done the unthinkable. In a series of military engagements with a coalition of more advanced species, they had won. In each encounter, the human forces fought with an unparalleled resilience, pushing the limits of their resources, outmaneuvering opponents who were more technologically advanced. "What is it that makes them so powerful?" Karath questioned aloud, his voice strained. A new hologram appeared, depicting the face of a human general named Sarah Carter. The humans, though still in their relative infancy in the galactic stage, had developed an army unlike anything the Council had ever faced. They fought with courage and resolve, not relying on superior weapons or overwhelming numbers, but on their capacity for quick thinking, adaptability, and a tenacious refusal to yield. "We have observed their recent battles," said Kran, a tactical advisor from the Ryden Dominion. "Their forces utilize basic technology, nothing we could not easily counter. But when in combat, they show an incredible ability to exploit weaknesses. It's as if they can sense opportunities before they present themselves. It is uncanny." Ambassador Rithak's eyes narrowed. "They are not using our methods, nor are they using your methods, Karath. The humans fight like an unpredictable storm. They are constantly changing tactics, constantly moving forward, no matter the odds." The realization struck the Council members like a shockwave. It wasn't the technology that made humanity dangerous. It was their spirit. The humans' drive to win, to adapt, to overcome, was something that could not be easily defeated. For the first time in millennia, the Galactic Council saw a species that was not only capable of great growth, but was willing to face impossible odds without flinching. In their latest victory, the human army had engaged a superior fleet of Vraxian warships. The Vraxians, with their advanced energy weapons and near-invincible shields, had thought it would be a simple conquest. However, the humans had used guerrilla tactics, drawing the Vraxians into a trap by feigning weakness. As the Vraxian fleet closed in on what appeared to be a lone, vulnerable human ship, they were ambushed by a swarm of smaller, fast-moving human craft that had been lying in wait. It was a perfect trap, one the Vraxians should have seen coming, but didn't. The humans had outwitted them at every turn. Is this really happening? Chancellor Karat's voice was thick with disbelief. How are they able to outthink us? Their tactics are primitive, yet they succeed. A quiet murmur ran through the council. It was true. The humans had no grand fleets, no fleets of war machines or planet-destroying weapons. What they had was a mentality that none of the council members could comprehend. They fought with the strength of 100 species combined. Their soldiers were not just trained in battle. They were trained to think on their feet, to innovate in the heat of combat, to survive. What do we do now? General Tormar of the Totharan Dominion asked, his voice full of unease. Rithak's answer was simple. We'd either learn to adapt or be swept aside. We must acknowledge the humans as a legitimate threat. A silence fell over the chamber. The realization had finally sunk in. The humans were not just a force to be reckoned with. They were a force of nature, unstoppable in their determination, dangerous in their unpredictability. The council members, who had once viewed them as nothing more than ants beneath their boots, now saw them as potential conquerors of the galaxy, if not now, then in the near future. The Galactic Council, once unified in its belief of galactic dominance, now faced an unprecedented challenge. The human army, with all its raw potential, had thrown the balance of power into chaos, and the Council could only watch in shock as humanity's rise seemed inevitable. The era of the humans had begun, and the universe would never be the same again.